Hi there guys, this is Dino by bringing you a double delight courtesy of Yamaha Motor India right from Ambi Valley here in Pune. So this one is the Aerox Electric, Aerox E or E-Aerox, whatever you like to call it. Now this one is something special. So we've seen the EC06, which is a well-positioned, well-built, robust-looking electric scooter that can be used on a regular basis by the common man. This one is for the niche audience. This is for the passionate Yamaha fanboys who want a sharp, sleek, sporty, and futuristic, unique, exclusive proposition that is not for everyone. So it is more like a lifestyle product. So that is the essence of the Aerox E, because it is not the practically usable, the frugal, the battery efficient EV you're looking for. It's more style, power and poise and exclusivity. Okay, so now let's have a look at it as to why I am giving you a heads up statement about the exclusivity factor, because you have the same form factor of the Aerox. It's been a cult favorite. It's enjoyed its fan following. It is enjoyed creating a fan base for itself. Now the Aerox E again pushes the envelope further. Now let me tell you, it is not a practically usable EV, but it is, again I told you, for the kind of passionate brand lovers who want a proper state-of-the-art Yamaha DNA instilled and the Aerox Essence built EV. Now what are the essentials that you need to know? First is battery pack, second is charging time, range, top speed. Okay, first is the battery pack. So you get two removable detachable batteries, 1.5 kilowatt hour each. So 2 into 1.5 kilowatt hour, maximum capacity of 3 kilowatt hours. So both are detachable, and that is a good thing. You can take it and charge it separately at home, the convenience of your home. So that makes practicality this thing. You don't have to worry about installing a charger, wall charger in the parking lot and all. So it is less of a hassle over there. But next comes the range. Now the IDC range itself is 117 kilometers, which means the true range hovers around 60 kilometers on a given charge. I mean 60 to 70 kilometers on a full charge. So that becomes very, very tight on a usable basis, because yes, you have the sharpshooter styling, you have the LED lamps that look absolutely stunning. The design is nothing less of a sharpened arrow. You can see it cuts through air. The aerodynamics is well sorted. You have 14-inch wheels, fat rubber, 110 section front, 140 section tire at the back. You have a PMSM motor. It's a intelligent PMSM motor, whatever you like to call it. So thermal management, battery management system, everything has been optimized to extract good efficiency, but still this is what you get. So that is where things start falling apart. Now it is not for the run-of-the-mill user who wants maximum range, maximum efficiency, more practicality. This is, again, as I told you, is for the true Yamaha, true blue fanboy. Okay, so battery 1.5 into 2, 3 kilowatt hour battery pack. This thing capacity. Charging time, it takes 6 or 6.5 hours to charge fully both the batteries. That is again livable, and it's a practical thing. Now range, as I told you, 117 is the IDC range, so true range hovers around 60 to 70, which becomes very, very tight. But the speed, top speed, is 95.5 kilometers per hour with a boost function. Now how well does the boost function? It lasts for 10 seconds. I'll show it to you in a moment. That's again a unique proposition. So it is the enthusiast scooter. You have telescopic forks up front, dual disc setup, single channel ABS, and in terms of peak power, this is around 12.6 bhp, and torque is 48 newton meters. So it's going to absolutely fly off the mark. LED lighting all around, as I told you. If I turn it on, you have a TFT console. Now this becomes a challenge here. Keyless ignition as well. Here you have Yamaha branding. I don't know how well you can see it. So let me just turn it off and come back from another angle Try to show it to you in a better way. I hope the visibility is better from here. Yamaha branding, and here now it's in the park mode. Okay, then you have speedometer, trip meter, range. First battery, the because two batteries on board, the secondary battery is 92% state of charge, first battery is 99% state of charge. Now whether the boost function is available or not, once we turn on this motor control this thing, then I think you will get to know when we start it. Okay, long press that, and now you know that the scooter is ready to go. You are in the eco mode. Boost function is ready with 10 seconds of boost available to perform those quick overtakes and experience that rush for a moment. Change the mode with dedicated button, that makes things easy. Standard, power, eco, standard, power. Okay, now eco mode, range it shows is 60, very modest, and in standard it still shows 61. Depending on the riding style, they say it keeps changing, so you can't just go by what you see here. It depends on your riding style, because we don't know how the previous rider rode it. So this is how it shows, and in power mode again it shows only 30 kilometers range. So that is really tight. Okay, so for those who live close by to their office, workplace is hardly 5 kilometers away or 10 kilometers away, maybe they can buy this and be rest assured to have a premium ownership experience. You have hazard lights, high beam flasher, you have this full control suite here which shows the average speed, average economy, range. This is the usage, 90 watt hour per kilometer is the usage, range is 30. This is in power mode. Okay, so let us be a little more encouraging and forgiving, and let us put it in eco mode to make it look slightly better. So odometer is 18, trip 1, trip 2. Okay, this is the range. Headlight was on, turn it off. Want to save battery as much as possible. Okay, here's the main menu. Your music, navigation. This is similar to what I see on my MT-15 version 2.0, 2.5 you can say. 3.0 is not yet launched, but I launched it myself calling it 3.0. But yeah, that is updated with the color TFT, as you can see here. There's music, menu, we got into menu, your display setting, brightness, display color, and you have music here, navigation, notifications, and all those things. Okay, in menu again you have system setting, traction control can be turned off. Let us turn off traction control so that it can ride freely, clock, speed, and all those things. Okay, so let's get out of the menu, and here you have a bar graph display. Yamaha Motorcycle Connect app, 1 year subscription is free with this Aerox E. Design wise, as I told you, I love the alloy wheels, this thing, fat tires, LED lighting, Yamaha branding, have this texture kind of a thing denoting it's the E electric variant. Aerox E badging right over here. Again the graphic changes here. Seat is again slightly sloping. It's not great in terms of comfort. You keep sliding forward. Of course they have added some texture to prevent that, but still you sit way close to the hand, and the handlebar is positioned way close to you, so that is something you need to note. But it is a fun to ride scooter. We all know that about the Aerox. Talking about everything, charging time, the speed, the top speed, the battery pack, and everything else. The pricing is yet to be announced, but what do you think? It is unique, it is a beast, and I hope it offers a very special riding experience to make it an enthusiast delight. If it fails there, then there's no purpose at looking at this, because it all boils down to the riding experience. Because practically it is not there with the rest of the folks in the EV market where you can survive in terms of practicality. Telescopic forks, as I told you, single channel ABS, dual disc setup, fatter 140 section rear tire, dual shock absorber setup, motor, this thing you can unit that you can see over there. Battery pack is underneath the seat, so let me just try and show it to you. Okay, now in the seat mode, and this is the unit. So lying underneath here are the two battery packs. So boot space takes a hit here, only half of the boot is usable. And then this one is the charging socket. Okay, here you have you have a glove box kind of a thing here. Okay, some storage spaces here, and this is the charging this thing. There you see the charging socket. Okay, so let's put this back. I have floorboard right over here. You don't have that space in between to carry stuff and all. So this is again not a practical unit. It's primarily enthusiast based scooter. So now that I've given you an overview about the Aerox C, let's go ride it and see what special kind of a unique riding feel it has on offer to make it stand out.